Chewie. We're home.
What's up, Soapsuds? Welcome back to Season 3 of the Geek Soapbox. As always, I'm your host, Michael Lee Ponton, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Leva.
Yeah! Welcome to another year. And today, we thought we would talk about a brand new Star Wars. What? We know, it's been out for a little while now, but we needed to give you guys some time
Watch it.
so that we can talk freely together. Unless you're one of the 5 people who hasn't seen it.
Pause this, go watch it, and come back.
Star Wars The Force Awakens takes place many years after the destruction of the Death Star 2. I think it's supposed to be 30 years. Somebody fact check me.
What did you think of all the new characters?
I like them. I like the way that it feels very much like the, original movie.
Yeah.
Weird turns of fate bring these people together.
Yeah.
It's a lot of happenstance.
Yeah.
Or is it the will of the Force? I don't know. It can't just be coincidence. There has to be the Force pulling the strings.
Something is going on. Like, what made this one stormtrooper, Finn, decide, no, this is wrong? Whereas none of the other stormtroopers that we've seen had ever questioned anything. Guy in a scary mask tells me to shoot. I'm going to shoot.
Especially these guys who've been, programmed since birth.
I don't know if we're ever going to get that backstory, because there's some backstories we just don't get unless you read a book or a comic. I always want to know, how did Han and Chewie first meet? How did they get together and how did they become best friends?
Han Solo film coming in 3 years.
What?
Han Solo film.
For real?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I minded it. What?
Yes.
No.
This year, Rogue One. Next year, Episode 8. 2018, Young Han Solo.
What? I don't know what I think about this.
You just said you wanted to know how Han met Chewie.
No, just tell me. I don't want to see it because it's not going to be. You can't go back in time and have Harrison Ford play Han Solo. And I will not accept anyone else playing Han Solo. There's a lot of theories about who Rey is. What is your theory?
Alright, so the one theory is that she is Han and Leia's other child. Whether it's a twin or just a younger child.
I've heard that, but then I've also read theories, other people's theories, to disparage that, and I agree with them. They had no, recognition of her.
As poetic as I feel like it would be to have 2 twins fighting one another, kind of bringing the story full circle, now we're at this new set of twins, I feel like there would have to be a whole lot of Force mind wipe mumbo jumbo. I think that's a far-fetched. Then there's the theory that she is Luke's daughter.
I buy that a little bit more. There was a lot of years missing between, end of 6 and 7, so could have, and maybe didn't even know he had a daughter. Maybe hit it and quit it and left to go train some Jedis.
Or he did know, but nobody else knew.
I just kind of feel like he's a deadbeat dad if he did that, though.
It's the whole Spider-Man, any superhero mentality. If anyone knows my secret identity, then the people that are closest to me are in danger. If they find out he has a daughter, they're going to use her. Yeah. And then go and try to kill her because they're trying to get to him.
Alright, I'll buy that. I'll buy that, yeah.
My favorite theory, however, is that she is Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter.
I like that. I've heard that one. Actually, Brian told me that one today.
I love this theory. All those years that Obi-Wan was in isolation, at some point maybe he had a family.
I can see that.
And I really think that would be cool. Much like, the twin thing being poetic. If she and Kylo Ren, the grandson of Anakin, have to clash and...
See, I was thinking it'd be fun to see, because in that movie, Kenobi trained a Skywalker, and then now it's going to be a Skywalker trains Kenobi.
Exactly.
So that's a cool little circle.
Yeah.
I like that. I like Luke because it's cool, the whole Skywalker family.
It is, but it's almost too obvious.
Yeah.
It's like they're shoving it down our throats.
Obi-Wan one's really, really cool.
And if you think about it, her living alone on a desert planet, sort of isolated, sort of mirrors Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Being isolated on a desert planet for so long. I don't know. I just
So
feel
why was
like
she dropped off and left alone if she's Obi-Wan's...
Whatever the reasoning, it was to keep her safe.
What was your reaction when you found out Kylo Ren was Han and Leia's kid? I was like, what? And then I was like, oh no, this is not going to end well.
I always expected him to be someone's child. But I will say, initially, I thought he was going to be Luke's. So I was surprised to find out that it was Han and Leia's, but I expected that he was a descendant of the Skywalkers. Can I bring up another controversy about this movie?
Okay.
It's gotten criticism from George Lucas for being too nostalgic.
What? How? Oh, sorry, we actually paid homage to something we actually like as opposed to your pieces of poop that came out before. I'm gonna punch him in the face. How dare you say that about your own franchise? Yeah. Oh, because you didn't do it and it was better than what you did? Oh, you mad? You mad. Oh, guess what? It's gonna make way more money. You mad.
Yeah, at some point you want your movies to move forward. You know what I mean?
This did fine.
No, it did. I feel like, because we're bookending the original trilogy, I feel like as you move away from it in both directions, the films can be different.
I like that, yeah.
You know? Like, episode 1, you have the leeway to be very different. But as you move closer to episode 4, it needs to start being more similar to episode 4.
I agree with you.
And then 4, 5, and 6, and then 7 should be sort of similar, and then 8 and 9 can progressively get more ambitious or
guess
different.
What? It's in the same world. It's in the same everything. It needs to have that feeling. You need to have that connection. If you don't have that connection, it just doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. I'll be honest, the first 3 sometimes didn't really feel like Star Wars movies, but this one did. You gotta think who made it too. He's a child of the 80s, 70s and 80s, and like, when you're a fan, you're gonna actually pay homage to what made you a fan. You know, and I loved it, because as a kid who grew up with it, like, I watched it as a child, not like I watched it late in life, I watched it growing up in the 80s. I thought he did perfect. I get why the first 3 have to feel so different.
Well, yeah, you have to see it fall apart.
Fell apart, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it has to look clean and pristine and, like, not broken and battered down yet, because they hadn't got to that war yet. Right. They're just starting that war. They were just starting that. It was big republic, and everything was like senators, and it was grand, and I didn't mind that at all. Like, I actually, people are like, I know I talked a lot of crap about it, but like, I actually enjoyed them.
And I think that there is a place for that kind of film. But I think what made the original Star Wars trilogy so captivating is the underdog story.
Yeah.
It's the little guy that you want to root for. You want them to succeed in the end. And that's what the original trilogy was you want the rebellion to succeed because all the odds are against them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's sort of what episode 7 feels like. Yet again, we've got this small band of resistance fighters trying to take on this big entity that's going to come in and wipe everything out. And essentially does, because they come in and they wipe out what's left of the Republic. All the leaders get blown up. So now we're sort of in a state of where we were at the beginning of the original trilogy. Only now there's not even an empire to maintain some sense of order in the galaxy. So now it's just going to be chaos amidst this small resistance fighters and the First Order. In fact, the galaxy is probably worse off now than when the Empire was in charge of it. Think about that. I didn't till just right now. Episode 8 is going to be dark.
What is your theory, not your theory, but your thoughts on this? A lot of people were complaining about they were both really good at the lightsabers. And I might actually, if you watch their fight, and I really watched their fight the second time a lot closer, it was very sloppy. Like, anyone could pick up a lightsaber and, like, do this. If you have any sort of... And think about it. Finn's had battle training.
Since he was a kid.
And, like, obviously she knows how to fight, because she was all, like...
With her staff.
She probably had to living on Jakku. It wasn't like she was smooth. Like, if you watch, like, Ewan McGregor or, like, the other fights in the other movies, they were way more smooth.
Well,
whereas they're, like, they're stumbling back.
What's that Obi-Wan says? It's an elegant weapon.
Mm-hmm. And if you watch their actual fight, they weren't really elegant with it at all. So I think that was, like, right there disparages that argument. Plus, she's obviously the new chosen one.
I know, she's going
to be good at stuff.
The Force is flowing through her. And And that's the other thing that makes me think that she is Obi-Wan's descendant. Because she was so easy to... You will untie me. Leave the door open. That's like his signature thing.
What else? There's a couple other things.
There is the obvious elephant in the room.
What?
Han Solo met his maker. How did you feel about that scene?
So here's my initial reaction. I'm like, alright, this is the suavest MFer in the whole galaxy. First time we think he dies, because you don't know he's going to get unfrozen. You don't know what he's going into. This could be the end of Han Solo. And they give him the most swaggiest line in the history of like film, I think.
I love you.
I know.
So when his actual death comes, you think something cool is going to happen. Like, oh, he's going to say something really cool, or be like, yeah. Instead, he was just a broken-hearted old man. This is Han freaking Solo. And I didn't know if I liked that or not at first. After thinking about it, I was okay with it because A, it was his son. B, it was a touching moment, and it was almost out of character, but not.
But that's the thing. That's why it works for me. Because for what could potentially be the first time in Han Solo's life, he tries to have this emotional connection. But this was Han legitimately giving into his feelings and trying to emotionally appeal to his son.
In his speech, I lost my mind a second time. If you listen to the speech, can you help me? It hurts. Can you help me? You're like, oh, well, he's having doubts about doing this, and he does it anyway. Second time, I'm watching it, there was never actually any doubt. He was basically asking his father, I have to kill you to continue
Yeah,
my
no,
mission.
I felt that the first time.
Oh, see, I didn't feel that the second.
No,
See, I guess I'm a girl.
I had already gone, don't go out on the bridge. Don't go out on the bridge bathed in red light. Don't do it. It's not going to end well. And then he's like, I'm so conflicted, Father. I need you to help me. Yeah, he's going to help you by dying. That's how he's going to help you.
The way he delivered it and the way it was written, there was never ever any like definitive, so it could be seen.
It could. It legitimately could.
Way. So the first time I saw it this way, whereas second time I know I've seen it. You're like, huh, and you see it this way. What it was actually like. It blew my mind. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, he is asking his father for permission to go to the dark side. He is asking his father for permission, can I kill you?
Yeah. Okay, so next, I want to just briefly talk about the Skywalker lightsaber that calls out to Rey, which I think is also what's making people think that she's related to Luke. But, yet again, if that is the lightsaber that Luke lost in Cloud City, that Anakin Skywalker lost on Mustafar, then Obi-Wan Kenobi was in possession of that lightsaber for many, many years. And, I don't know if you heard it, but during the montage or whatever, you can hear Obi-Wan Kenobi say, Rey, you've taken your first steps. But apparently it was a combination of both Alec Guinness, they took like a snippet of his audio from A New Hope, and also had Ewan McGregor come in and record dialogue to layer in there. Why would you do that? She's got to be a Kenobi.
Don't got to be.
She gots to be a Kenobi! Hashtag gots to be a Kenobi!
God, he's not gonna stop. So
I'm not.
Just go with it.
I'm not! Lastly,
Luke's looking like a badass on the island.
that, but the lack of Luke Skywalker. I get it. He was the MacGuffin of this whole movie. The shadow of Luke was all over the film.
Gotta find Luke.
But I feel like they were making such a big deal about Mark Hamill being in
I was
it,
okay with it.
and then he wasn't.
Why are you mad?
Because the hype train is out of control. Somebody pump the brakes. Out of control. Speaking of being off the rails, this episode is off the rails. Season 3 is off to a crazy start, you guys. I'm so excited for the year to come. I hope you guys are excited. What kind of stuff do you want to see this year? What have you enjoyed before? You let us know what you guys want to see this year, because we want to do that. Yeah, if we haven't done something, let us know what it is. Also want to do a big shout out to Alex Berrett, who composed our new theme song. We love it. It's something that we've always wanted since we started this show, was like a theme song to call our own. So it's awesome. If you get a chance, he's got a SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/AlexBarrettMusic. Go check him out. I believe you can also download the extended version of our theme song on there. It's called the Geek Soapbox. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below, on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you want to go and converse with us. We'll be there. We'll talk to you back. Don't forget to click that like button. Let us know you like this video so that we can continue making more.
And make sure you share this with all your friends.
And last but certainly not least, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be the first to know when we post brand new episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Bye!
Game over.